All right, Video Fearless folk, I have a special guest for you. You know, I try to bring you the best in the business, and I'm going to introduce him right now. His name is Lou Bortone. He's the godfather of video marketing. Hey, Lou, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Good to be with another person with a TV background.
Yeah, there's only a few of us, it seems like, but
The
yeah.
dying breed.
See, why don't you just fill us in on your background and what you're doing now and how you help people out?
Sure. As I mentioned, I did come out of the TV business in LA, many years ago. And for the last 10 or so years, I've been doing video marketing online. So my entire business is online. My clients are from all over, and I do courses and classes. And I know we've done some of those together. And I also do video coaching. So basically just helping people with their video marketing strategy and video marketing plans.
Awesome. So let's kind of take it at the beginning for the novice then. For the person who's they have a let's say they're a fitness coach or something. They're doing some real kind of coaching, or they're doing something, a real service they're providing. How do you take that skill or talent and then translate it into an online business? What's the process of doing that? And we'll talk about video, how that plays into it in a second.
Yeah, a lot of it's really just trying to make sure that you know who your audience is and you know what your offer is, and hopefully there's a match there so that you're offering your audience something that they really need, and then just developing the rapport and relationships and sort of building that know, like, and trust, so that when you are doing stuff online, people are like, okay, yeah, he's a good guy. I'll do stuff with him. So
Sounds like it's a very simple formula, but it's still a hard code to break, really.
Yeah. So, you have to build an audience. It's a little bit easier because now with video, obviously you can do that connection, and you can connect like this or through YouTube and things like that. So it does take time. I don't think it's kind of an overnight thing. Like back in the day, digital marketing was sort of like, oh yeah, throw a product online and sell a gazillion of them. Now it's really a matter of building an audience and a fan base, and then bringing them something that they really need and want.
So explain that process. How does video fit into that process of building your fan base? Are we talking about building an email list, building a community like a Facebook group, building a YouTube channel?
Definitely. All of the above. And folks have different ways of doing it. I mean, I've done it primarily through an email list. And so I'm using video to build a following and build a fan base. I know some of my colleagues have done it with Facebook groups and Facebook and social media. Others, our mutual friend Brian G. Johnson, for instance, does almost solely YouTube. So, there are a lot of ways to get out there and reach people. And the good thing is that the audience is there online. They want video. There's an appetite for it. So it's really just a matter of, are you going to do, YouTube? Are you going to do Facebook? Are you going to do some combination of all of that?
In your professional experience, Lou, why is video so powerful right now in this sort of digital ecosystem that we're living in?
Yeah, I think part of it's just that it's more accessible than ever. I know, you and I, coming from the TV business back in the day, you needed a lot of money and resources to do video. And now it's kind of like, oh, I have a phone, I can do video. So it's very accessible. And the other thing about it is that people want to make that connection. So much of online is sort of, you don't really have that connection. But with video, it's immediate, it's familiar. We've all grown up kind of watching TV. So and I believe that video actually accelerates the sales process because it builds know, like, and trust faster than, say, blogging or Facebook or things like that.
So if you're going to work with a client, what are some things you do with them? Is there going from being a video novice? I try to help people get that confidence on camera. What are some things you got to work through with clients to help them understand how to leverage video for their business?
Yeah, part of it is that confidence, but a lot of it for me is, where do they want to get to? And is video the right way for them to get there, or a big piece of the pie? So in other words, if somebody has a product or a course that they want to sell, how can they use video on YouTube? Or they may even be using video to create the course itself. So basically, how can they get from point A to point B using video, whether that's YouTube or Facebook or I call it video direct outreach, stuff like this, or video email. So, for instance, if I have a client or a prospect and I want to reach that client and they're not answering emails, or they're really hard to reach, or they're really busy, I'll do a video email, and that almost always gets a response because it's really personal and direct and engaging.
Gotcha. So there's definitely a creativity aspect that goes into it as well, like maybe not using video in a traditional sense that you might think about.
Yeah, and some folks, really don't like being on camera. I've kind of gotten used to it. I don't particularly like it that much myself. But there's plenty of other methods off camera. There's all kinds of videos you can do. Most of the classes that I do are off camera. They're sort of like PowerPoint presentations and video and Zoom screen sharing and things like that. So a lot of people think, oh, video, I have to be on camera and I have to be all dressed up or whatever. But there's a ton of ways to approach it, and a lot of ways to get your message out there, even if you don't want to be on camera.
Are you suggesting then that a person doesn't be on camera, or is it more effective to be on camera? Because a lot of people ask me that question: should I just make a slideshow kind of video, or what? And I'm like, really, being on camera is the most effective way. That's my
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the primary way and the best way. I'm just saying, people don't necessarily have to be on camera all the time. But if you go to a website these days and you don't see a welcome video with the person behind the website, you're missing an opportunity. And again, there are some things where you just have to be on camera, because that's where you're going to build know, like, and trust, and that's where you're going to create that connection. Way more than like a PowerPoint video or an Animoto video would.
Definitely. Cool. So what are some of the current trends you see with video here in this, I guess, this year or in the next 3 to 5 years, if you want to even make that bold prediction?
I know well, I mean, having come from the TV business, even many years ago, a lot of folks were talking about convergence and how the internet and TV is going to come together. And I think that's finally, after all the hype, that's really happened now. And I know, because I have kids in college, they don't really make any distinction between screens. They'll watch TV on an iPad, or they might watch YouTube on a traditional TV. So to them, it's just all, a screen where they get their entertainment. So I think that sort of blurring of the lines between TV and internet is really happening now at a really quick pace. And the other thing I've noticed, because again, I have, kids that are millennials, is there's sort of the second screen phenomenon. So people may be watching TV, but they're also on Twitter or Facebook on their phone. So for marketers, that means, okay, we've got people that are multitasking. They're even more distracted. I've seen my son on 3 screens at the same time. It's like, okay, he's watching Family Guy on TV, and he's got his iPad and he's got his iPhone. I don't know how they do it. So, but yeah, that's a big trend as well. And then also, augmented reality and virtual reality are finally starting to become a big thing. Again, it's one of those things that people talked about for years, but now it's more mainstream.
Right. So what does that mean how can you tie that into the video marketing? Can you tie any of those trends or the multi-screens? How does that affect folks who are in business trying to reach their customers?
Yeah, I think a lot of it means that, hey, television, for example, big media companies are not just advertising on television, they're also advertising a lot on YouTube. So you have to think, where are these folks? How can I reach them? And what message can I get to them that's going to resonate when they are distracted or multitasking? So you kind of have to, an old manager of mine used to say, fish where the fish are. And right now they're all over the place. You got to figure out where they're at.
Cool. So you've covered a lot in this conversation, but how do you help a person get focused on would you suggest someone focus on one strategy first, like building a Facebook group, or focus on YouTube? Or would you suggest they cast a wider net when they're trying to start off from ground zero?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it depends on their goals, but generally speaking, I often talk about, find your video sweet spot. And that just basically means, hey, is Facebook Live a really good platform for you? Do you like going live? Do you like doing how-to videos and things that you could do on YouTube? So find your sweet spot and start with that. Again, I know folks who built entire careers doing nothing but YouTube or nothing but Facebook Live. So you sort of have to find that sweet spot and that place where you're going to work best and build from there.
You're sharing awesome information with us. How can folks look you up or get connected with you? You have a Facebook group? How can they connect with you, Lou?
Sure. You can. I'm on all the socials, as they say, at Lou Bortone, and my website is loubortone.com.
Spell it for us.
LOUBORTONE.
Awesome. Well, Lou, we're spending some time with Lou Bortone. We want to thank you so much for dropping this science on us in terms of video marketing. Appreciate you, and I'll be seeing you on the internet, Lou.
My pleasure.